Okay, here is your video, class. So, we start with just a connection with our friends. I like to use breath as the thing that unifies us, that brings us together. Letting them know that you're coming. Wrapping your hands around each part of the foot so that you have a perfect fit. And traveling from the heel to the toes and back to the heel of the foot. Rhythm is a very important part of this. This technique you can do for a long time, especially if somebody isn't quite so relaxed and they're not ready for you to dive into their body yet. You can just stay at the feet and do this very calming rhythm for the nervous system. I'll pause there and ground both heels and then do a nice stretch for myself. Now I want to see the rotation of the hip the other way. So I continue with the rhythm and I watch the hips, observing the quality, the differences, flexibility. Sometimes I get the feeling I want to bring the feet a little bit closer. And then I can usually stretch the toes down more. I like to make sound effects. And I wrap my hands around the tops of the feet and lean back. Doing a little rocking. If somebody has a larger curve in their lower back, then I know that it's more important for me to stretch the backs of the legs. And also, in this position for a long time isn't very good. So I'll lift the legs up. So now the lower back is more flat onto the mat. And I take the feet together. And I can do some rocking here. In class we talked about a reference point, which is where we can focus our own awareness. I think that reference point is the third eye, or 2 points on the lower back of the skull. You can see here that I'm driving with my hips, not with the muscles of my arms. Also good for the lower back. Really nice place to pause is with the feet in your belly. You can lean forward and back. legs are so. So moving. The other option we talked about, hand goes under the knee. This is for a deeper stretch. And then you can just have a seat. You want that your friend's leg is at a 90-degree angle to the best of its ability, and that the knee is stacked right on top of your knee. If you can also here. And then it's a bounce. It's not a rock, it's a bounce. And the more that I can give her leg at 90 degrees, the more we're going to loosen the gluteus muscle and all the muscles around the thigh away from the bone. You can even relax back, it's just more effort, actually. Okay. Now we start massaging the calf. So we just first a little la louche. And then it's thumb on thumb in the back of the knee. We can try one point there. And then down the center line of the calf. Usually around the Achilles heel is thicker, you can feel, so you can press more firmly. If you can reach the foot, you can even come down into the foot. Just warming and sensing, feeling the person, their tendencies of where might be more tense than others. And you can just do a little bouncy bounce. We're going to slide in and come into a tie seat. And now we're just going to rock a little bit. And I'm sensing with my palm, a soft palm this time, this meridian, this line, inside line. So there's two ways that we came into the bloodstop. First, we're going to feel underneath the bone for the soft spot, not the hard tendon that's lower down here, but this soft spot in here. You can, with your soft forearm, breathe in, go in from the side. Or you can rotate your whole body, and you'll even have to adjust the leg a little, and come forward. And this is a little bit deeper. That slowly. You can stay longer than I did for sure. And just gentle rocking. And then your forearm down the inside line, slower than I'm doing now. And release up again. After that, it's been a long time with the hip open this way, so I want to give the hip a break. So we bring the leg up. Wrap it around your thigh. And you'll push down For the pedal bow, you can start with your foot. And you can see how far your friend stretches. Test the flexibility. You can hold here at the heel. It's a really nice place. And start at the base of the hamstring closest to the hip. Start pressing into the center of the hamstring, guiding the muscle up. The hamstring is two muscles, so you want to try and get in between them. Spreading them. Walking for a long time. Up and down, and down. You feel like the leg is nice and warm. You can take your toes underneath the knee and hook the foot behind your knee. I like to come more at an angle with this one, so I move a little bit closer to the other foot. And then I go in, and I guide the muscle up. My foot is flat to begin with. If I feel like they need a little bit more point work, specific work, I roll onto the outer edge of my foot. And essentially this is like another bloodstop. So when working with bloodstops, we're going slow and deep. It looks like with Sarah, I don't need to use my other hand, so I can relax back. Now this is a lot of work on with the leg open like this, so you may choose to skip one of these techniques if it seems like too much for your friend. I can also pull back with my toes and give space to the back of the knee. I think of Thai massage like surfing. It's smooth. It's like riding a wave each time. There's a ascension, a climax, and then a decline. Want to give the leg a rest. Also learn the hip stretch. So I take my hand to the other hip and I guide the hip down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And my hand isn't really pushing so hard on Sarah. You can play with more pressure if you'd like. And then we learned the yoga lover stretch, which is where we lock this hip down. You're not pressing on the bone, you're pressing below the bone. And you guide this knee towards the armpit more. The other one, the knee was going towards the floor. Which one do you like better? Sarah likes this one better. She's a yogi. Now that's a lot of time in that direction, so I didn't teach you guys this, but you can take also a stretch deeper. More weight. Now these last two techniques can be done as part of the sequence, but they're really meant to be done for a longer amount of time. So this first technique you can do up to like 5 minutes rocking somebody. I cup the knee with my knees. You can do this nice chin lock. And then I gather the muscle underneath my hand, one on top of the other, and I pull to give traction. And I'm waiting for the space of most resistance. So I pull, pull, pull. When I feel that the stretch has reached maybe all the way up to Sarah's neck or head, then I start these little pulses. Now this is a little bit of work, so I want to make sure my shoulders are down. I'm in a relaxed position. And just start these gentle pulses. What I don't want to do is make it really loose like this. This isn't really getting the point. When I traction the tissue all the way back, then I can reach all the way even up to her jaw. Great jaw release. Because Sarah's shorter, I can even sit and do it. You're not short, just shorter than the tall guy that I worked on. You can move different directions. Now I'm working on the back of Sarah's shoulder. Not to mention that all the organs are softening with this one. It's excellent. Okay. Final one, you're just going to see my feet. What I want you guys to feel with this one is really just those long holds, trying to feel on the bottom of your foot some warmth, some energy accumulating, feeling the energy line more just by these long holds. And like you guys mentioned, it is kind of like a very tranquilizing effect. And you go like this all the way to the knee. Here around the knee is usually more sensitive, but it's a great place to work. And if you feel like the line has gotten pretty warm for you, then you can do that point work that we were talking about, where you roll onto the outer edge. You're not going to be pushing with your leg. Instead, lean your body weight forward and then it just naturally gets deeper.